Hello, YouTube. I am back from a much needed break. I've been traveling, the weather has been getting nice, and the last time I went to upload a video, I ran into a bunch of tech issues, so I just wanted to pop on and give a quick, huge, enormous thank you to all of you who have helped me get to this point because we officially are monetized. This last year has been an amazing ride, and I could not have done it without your support, your likes, your comments, and you just showing up to be here with me on this journey. This is a big step, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you all so much. I'm really excited to see where the next phase of this journey takes us. So to celebrate, I've had a lot of different ideas of videos I wanted to make after joining the partner program. So I'm just going to try to do as many of those as I can over the next couple of videos. Things aren't going to change around here too much, but I am going to start experimenting now that I have a little more creative freedom. Probably every second video or something like that, but today is not one of those days. Today, I'll be doing my first Plex video. And for those that are unfamiliar with what Plex is, it's another free streaming service similar to Tubi that started out as a way of physical media collectors digitally sharing their collection online by hosting their own dedicated servers. And I know that sounds complicated, but a lot of people don't know that Plex actually has its own collection of movies that you can legally go on there and watch for free. And they actually have a great selection of B movies. So please stick around till the end of the video because I'll be talking about one of my favorite B movies of all time that I have never had a chance to talk about on this channel before. These are my top 5 B movies on Plex, in no particular order. Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls is a 2023 horror comedy adventure that was founded on Kickstarter, written, directed, and produced by the YouTuber Bowser Vids, which is actually quite impressive since this movie had a much bigger budget than what I was expecting from a movie based on a YouTube character. It's about Onyx, the character Andrew made for his YouTube channel, trying to join an online cult while he works at a fast food restaurant. I regret not watching this sooner, because this whole movie is ridiculous and I absolutely loved it. To the point where I feel this could very well be the bar to be met for modern B movies to me. I got a lot of laughs out of it because of the amount of one-liners that I tend to love in B movies, and whether you're familiar with Bowser Vids or not, it's still a fun watch. Though it does show some clips from his viral videos in the rolling credits. It is 2 hours long, but the script is ridiculous enough to keep you engaged the whole time, and it's a Screambox original, which means that it's on a lot of free streaming services outside of the US at this point, and it has a physical copy that I will be picking up soon. If you like The Pick of Destiny, then you need to watch this because it's very similar except without all the music. Lesbian Vampire Killers sounds like it would be one of those B movies all about blood and boobies, but it's actually got a pretty decent story to it with a bit of romance and is a good vampire movie. It definitely isn't going to be for everyone because it does have a misogynistic sense of humor. I'm not going to try to pretend like it's otherwise, but it doesn't have a lot of gore or nudity like some might expect from a movie like this. It's about 2 guys who are down on their luck when it comes to the women in their lives, trying to get out of town and go for a hike, when they come across a group of women who turn into lesbian vampires due to a town curse that then tried to kill them. It might not have aged well in some people's eyes, but if you don't mind the politically incorrect, outdated British humor, then this might be a guilty pleasure for some of you, which is why I'm still going to recommend it. It's a dumb, fun, turn your brain off, silly, sexy movie that might be fun to put on in the background whenever you have the right type of friends over for something like this. Also, it's well produced, maybe even better than a movie like this probably deserves. Sharktopus. Yes, a shark movie for the first time on this channel that came out before Sharknado overstayed its welcome. It's about a half shark, half octopus that was designed by the military as an experiment that gets loose and runs havoc on the beaches of Santa Monica. So obviously there's going to be a lot of bikinis. The acting is bad, the script is bad, the CGI is bad, but in a fun way, so let's just be real here. We don't watch shark movies for any of those things, especially the B-rated ones, and that's why I'm recommending this. It's definitely a so bad it's good type movie and great for those who are looking for something to not take super seriously. The kills are fun, which is really what this movie is all about, and it's been on my Shark Week rotation for years now, as much as it's still just a fun B movie to watch in the summer. Frankenhooker is an absolute classic B-horror comedy body horror movie from 1990. about a mad scientist trying to rebuild his girlfriend after she dies in an accident that he caused. But to do so, he blows up a bunch of hookers who she inherits their personalities from before she gets loose and then runs wild in the streets. Patty Mullen, the actress who plays Frankenhooker, really is the best part of this movie, even though her Frankenhooker character doesn't make her first appearance until the later half of the film. She does such an amazing job in this role with her twitchy mannerisms and oblivious dialogue, to the point where she's still really popular at conventions to this day. Made by the same creators of Basket Case and Brain Damage, which are also classic B movies from back in this era, but out of the three, this one is definitely my favorite. It surprisingly has a good moral message about loving someone for who they really are instead of trying to change them into something they're not. And it's not like anything you've ever seen before or will ever see again. Finally, today is the day I get to talk about Manborg, a B-rated science fiction action movie from 2011. If anyone ever asked me what my number one favorite B movie was of all time, 8 times out of 10, depending on my mood, I'd probably say Manborg. I always say that creativity comes through limitations, and this movie is a great example of that. Made on a $1,000 budget, the film leans heavily on green screen and stop motion, giving it a low-budget charm that feels surprisingly impressive. Almost like watching a retro video game play out. And it tells the story about a revived soldier from the past who wakes up in a dystopian future that ends up teaming up with 3 unlikely allies to help save the world. There's a martial artist who's completely dubbed over, even though he speaks English perfectly fine. There's an Aussie who's great with guns but hilariously can't read. And his sister who's deadly with knives and almost feels like an anime character with the way that she's edited into the film. But the script and how it's delivered is really what makes this movie so great. Especially Manborg himself with his dry, emotionless dialogue and facial expressions that almost comes across like he's being sarcastic most of the time. If you're a fan of Steve Kostanski's recent work like Psycho Goreman or Frankie Frico, then you owe it to yourself to go back and watch this if you haven't seen it already. It's one of those movies that I notice something new in every time I watch it, and it always makes me laugh even when I know what's coming. I did find the version on Plex did have some glitchy moments in it, like it was ripped from a scratched disc, but it's also available on YouTube ad-free in a higher picture quality, so I'll include both links in the description below, as well as all the other movies on this list. And that's going to be it from me. Once again, thank you all so much for helping me get to the point where I am now in the partner program on YouTube. This is massive for me. I wasn't sure if this was something that would ever happen when I created this channel, and it happened within a year of me uploading roughly 1 video a month. So, with that said, keep those notification bells on, and if you're into B-movies, cult classics, hidden gems, and horror, or just in the mood for something different than what the mainstream media has to offer you, like and subscribe, or join now that you can, and thanks for watching.